Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's section of reads. This should be on the YouTube channel, James13 Wicca, in case you're seeing it somewhere else. The dice and decks I'm using are listed below. Other than that, if you'd like a direct reading from me, go ahead, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com, james4astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's also below. Other than that, let's get into your selection. Hello, Capricorn. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Capricorn? I'm like racing out here all of a sudden. What's up with that? I don't really want to put all these out. Do I have to? I guess I do. Okay, then we do. What do we have for Capricorn? Okay. All these, it's fine. This is interesting. You're giving something a chance. I find this very interesting because Capricorn does not waste their time. I feel like I say this a lot. You're not going to just show up because like, oh, why not? It's not really Capricorn's thing. Now, granted, there's a lot of things in a person's chart. So if your sun sign is in Capricorn and you have like a moon sign in Leo, maybe. I don't know then, but maybe. But even with that combination, you may show up just to see what's there, but you're like, whatever I find will definitely be for me, and I will find something worth it. So Capricorn shows up with purpose. So with this card showing up, I feel like what we're saying is like, I don't have a reason not to show up. I don't have a reason not to show up. It's almost like I want to meet new people, and it's like, well, it's at a restaurant that I like, or it's at a place that I like anyway. So it's like at the very least, it's going to have food that I'm interested in, and I'm going to see a couple other people I already know. So it's like no harm, no foul. I might meet some new people that I like, but if I don't, there's still things here more than worth it for me there. And it's like whatever you're giving a chance to, it's kind of like, I feel like I have reference to the past where this has worked to my benefit before. I'm not over-invested where everything has to be perfect, but there's enough there that I'm showing up for where it's like, it'll be worth my time. It may not be stellar, but it'll at least be good. So I'm okay with that. I've already spoken to this, but I'll show these cards. This has worked for you before. I feel like this is something you've done before. So I'm making it really simple, but like, how else can I say this? It's almost like going on a certain job interview, and it's almost like, I don't know if I'm going to get this job, but I would like to see more about this company. I would like to like get an interview so I can go in there and I could look around and see what type of people are there and see what, you know, how things work here, how things work there, get a feel for the facility to see if there's if it is a place that I would like to work at permanently. So there's other benefits to it. You're not just showing up because like, why not? You're showing up with other things in mind, stuff like that. I keep getting that you've done this type of thing before. I don't think I have to over-explain it. I feel like for those of you that's going to hit with, you're going to be like, yeah, I know what it is I'm talking about. I am showing up also to see what other potential may be there. There's a lot. There's layers here. There's definitely layers here. Other people on the outside may think this is very random, and maybe it is kind of a random opportunity, but there's more to it for you. Like, all right, I see this opportunity. I know that some of this is going to be acceptable and good for me anyway. I definitely want to explore to see if there's a little bit more potential than that here. And you got the Page of Fire coming in, right? Yes. Which is telling me I already have reference to what is going on here. I feel like before I say the same thing a third time, which I feel like I'm gonna, the Fool energy comes in again. It's not all perfect. I'm not expecting it to be perfect. I just want to see what else is there. Because there's a mystery here that I'm like, I need a little bit more information. I feel like part of this I can't make a good decision on without, you know, getting in there a little deeper and finding out a little bit more information. This also doesn't mean that I'm committed to the whole situation. it's like if I'm going to use that, like I'm showing up at this situation at this restaurant or bar, and there's a couple people I'm going to know there, and blah, blah, there might be new people I can meet, blah, 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 blah. Um, I may show up, be there for 5-10 minutes and be like, you know what, I'm good. And then it's like, instead of hanging out here, I'm going to go head out. And then on the halfway home, I'm going to stop and get groceries that I need to get anyway. And I'll make it worth my while that way. And then I'll head home. Um, you have something else going on here. I also feel like you want to look out for somebody else. It says animals. A lot of times this card comes in interesting ways for me. This reminds me of like looking out for others you love. That sometimes comes in that way. So it could be something like that here where it's like I want to look out for somebody and I want to see who they're kind of gravitating around anyway. That might be another level of this. Kind of like sometimes they find some interesting people and maybe I just want to get a little better look myself to see who they're hanging out with just so I can look out for somebody that I care about. That could be another piece here. So it does seem to be going forward very quickly. What is that one? The Knight of Wands. Opportunity is going to show itself to you, but I don't feel like this is something I have to either take it or leave it. This is one of those things where opportunity shows itself, but I get to step away and go, maybe I'll return to that later. I want to think about it for a minute. The Hierophant coming in with the Knight of Fire and fertility is like, I see something that is very open and seems very compatible with me, but I don't feel like I have to jump at it or it's going to get lost. If it was like that anyway, maybe it should get lost. I feel like that's where I'm kind of standing with it. There's some interest. There's something interesting right there. Somebody seems interested, or maybe there's an opportunity. Opportunity seems open to me, but I don't feel like I have to jump at it to get it. I feel like, all right, I see it. If it's still there when I come back, if I decide to come back, great. If it doesn't, if it's not, okay. But there's possibilities here. The energy's fast here. I mean, I know it's the Night of Fire. I feel like I see it. I take a quick assessment of it, and then I walk away. And it's question mark if I'm permanently walking away or if I will return at this point. I don't feel like I have to adhere to this situation if I want it. I feel like, oh, I see it. I'll think about it. The situation is going to return. I feel like that's a big piece of this. The energy is really like pumping up right here. They want you to realize it's something you're seeing. This has happened to me, which is weird, where maybe you meet somebody, it doesn't have to be romantic, but there's something there and you're like, oh, that looks nice enough, but I don't know. And I'm not going to trip over myself about it. I kind of would like to say hello. It doesn't look like the opportunity is that bountiful right here. So I feel like I'm just going to let it go. And if I see this person again, great, I'll say hello. If I don't, all right, I'm still fine. They're saying opportunity will return. It is going to come back. There's something random. This is coming back around for you. Random energy is going to return. And it may come up the same way in a random moment where you're not expecting it. You may meet somebody at a bar one day or a restaurant or at somebody's party, whatever it is. And then unbeknownst to you, you'll be at like a grocery store or clothes shopping or just doing something mundane. And then this person will just all of a sudden be right in front of your face and you totally are not going to be thinking about it. The reason they're bringing that up, because I get the Six of Pentacles, Six of Cups. Six of Cups with the Temperance card. When this random moment happens, and it moves on and you're comfortable with it, all they're asking is that you replay it in your mind a couple times. If that moment happens again, or if a moment happens again with this opportunity, what would you like to say? How would you like to handle that? It does not have to be romantic, by the way. This could be a business connection. This could be an opportunity to get a different job, something like that, where it's kind of like it was there, then it kind of disappeared, and that was fine. But if it shows up again, maybe I'll say something. What would you say? If it shows up again and you're like, I'd like to know more, what questions would you want to ask? If you have this in the back of your head, kind of like, this is what I would say, this is what I would do. If that was to replay again and I'm more comfortable with it this time, what would I say? How would I handle that? if you have that plan in the back of your mind, it's going to be very easy for you to go, okay, wait a minute, do I want to do that? Let me assess what's happening right now. Do I want to do this? Is this worth me moving forward in that sense, just to get a little bit more information? Um, there's this thing where the opportunity is going to replay. It's meant to be at an advantage to you. It's meant to. If you're not really taking it as in, like, if you're not pre-thinking it out, I keep getting, if you're not pre-thinking it out, you're probably going to replay what you've already done, and nothing's going to happen here. Eight of Pentacles is not a bad card. In this situation, though, I feel like we're sticking with what we already know, and things aren't changing. Yes, the Empress reversed, the Seven of Wands reversed is like, I'm not giving in to the situation. I'm just feeling like this isn't for me. There's nothing for me to do here. There's nothing, like, I'm not letting the situation have a chance because I'm just handling it like I handled it before, and it's just passing me by. There's nothing happening. The other version where I feel like I'm interacting with it for sure. A lot of air is coming in with this. A lot of air. Knight of Swords. Just starting a conversation. Business or pleasure, whatever it is, nothing happens if we don't start a conversation. This is your situation, not somebody else's. This is for your control, not somebody else's. By starting the conversation and seeing what's there, you then get control of the conversation. Once you have control of the conversation, you can make things happen and you can discover what's here and decide what you want from it. Nothing happens if you don't step it forward. If you don't want to, clearly that's your prerogative. You don't want to, then you don't want to. But if this is one of those things where I kind of want to, but I don't know what to say, that's why they're kind of like, if you play it in your mind, okay, if this plays out again, what would I do? What would I say? If you have something in the back of your mind, you can make things happen. It's kind of like, instead of asking somebody their favorite color, which I feel like is like, that kills the conversation more than anything else. It's kind of like saying, oh, what type of work do you do? Oh yeah, where did you go to school for that? Did you need schooling for that? Like, how long have you been doing that? It's almost like, because that's what's interesting to you usually. I would say that Capricorn, like, it looks at foundation, or like, you know, asking things about, you know, certain hobbies. If you realize somebody has a hobby, asking them how they got into it and what they're currently doing with it, or if they plan to get back into it, stuff like that, that's more interesting. Sometimes getting a conversation going about somebody's hobby, especially if you find it interesting, like, oh, you're into stained glass? How'd you get into that? Did you take classes for it, or did you just kind of self-taught? You know, what have you made with it? Like, I would love to see some of your stuff. That's more interesting than saying, oh, what's your favorite color? Teal? That's cool. Do you have things that are teal? Like, where are you going to go with that? I'm just saying. You know what I mean? If you have something in the back of your head, maybe you learned something the first time around and you're like, oh, now that I think of it, I could have expanded on that. But maybe next time, if next time it happens, maybe I would. Maybe they did say something like, oh, they're into woodworking. I could have expanded on that. I should have asked them if they ever did this type of work or that type, if they ever made a piece of furniture, if they ever made, you know, functional items. Like, have they ever fixed things? Like, what have they done with that? Like, how have they used that to their advantage? Now that I'm thinking of it, that would be interesting to know. When it comes back around, you can bring that up then. You get a double positive there. One, you're making a more interesting conversation, and two, you're showing that they did kind of get some space in your thoughts. Doesn't mean that they own your thoughts, but they get some space, and they're realizing that you're giving them an actual chance to prove something here, be it business or pleasure or whatever it is. This could be very good for you. This could be a wonderful thing that could come out into a new beginning for you. This is if you want it. If you don't want it, there's no point. Obviously, I feel like that's obvious. Getting this far, if you get that far and you don't want it, you're not going to do it. It's not going to matter. So it's completely hinging on if you want it. That way I just played that. This energy, having like another time around, it seems to mirror the Earth energy with the Ten of Pentacles, which I'm saying, building something with more of a foundation, you showing a little bit of interest, not a crazy amount, A little bit of interest makes a huge difference here. And I feel like this energy wants to like reciprocate that, to show its, you know, sincere energy back, business or pleasure, whatever it is. It's going to want to reciprocate that. So by you starting that situation and putting that out there, the energy comes back. It's not, I feel like this energy knows that, like, if it doesn't find a way to reciprocate, this isn't going to happen, whatever it is, business or pleasure. So it does try to do that. And there may be some random moments because they're kind of scrambling to try to show respect, try to show mirrored interest. Just be aware of that. It may be a little choppy, a little weird when they're trying to show interest back. Just realize they're trying to balance it. I feel like that's going to make a difference with you guys anyway. Over time, they'll find a way to actually balance that. Effort makes a big difference in the beginning. Correct effort is necessary later. Effort in the beginning, correct effort later. Things have a chance to really move forward. The world is coming in. The new beginning card is kind of balancing the world card. There's something really, this could really start going places. This could actually take you to new vistas. This could be a beautiful thing. But nothing happens if you don't kick it off. Of course, if you don't want to, like I said before, you're not gonna. It's not gonna matter. But if this is something you want, that's the whole point. That's the whole point. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.